Hey, listeners, have you ever wondered what you're missing on the Patreon?
Let us ask you these questions. Do you like the Pre-Fixe? There's an extended version of it every week on the Patreon called the a la carte.
Do you miss your favorite dead celebrities? We have a medium who comes on to talk to them on the Patreon.
Are you an astrology buff? We have an astrologer who comes to the Patreon to read the celebrity stars.
Do you want to hear what we edit out of the podcast? Then you can listen to our cutting room floor episodes on the Patreon.
Do you ever wish we could fix you? Then listen to our all-tier advice episodes right now on the Patreon.
And if you ever want to kiki with other listeners of this pod, come to one of our hilarious live Zoom spectaculars.
Still not convinced? No problem. Head on over to patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople to listen to an example episode of each of these. Absolutely free. See you on Patreon.
Where's Shelley?
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This is Fixing Famous People, the podcast where two reality television producers pitch solutions to save celebrities in dire straits.
But first, let's get to the Pre-Fixe, your weekly pop culture roundup.
Christopher, are you familiar with Labubu?
Goodbye.
Are you familiar with Labubu?
I'm too familiar for my own liking.
Really?
What a Labubu is.
Well,
Yes,
first of all, now that I am up to speed this week and listeners, don't be embarrassed if you don't know. I too didn't know, but you and I have never discussed it before. And I'm surprised when I've seen how celebrity omnipresent all of these Labubu are.
What is the point? Like, what's the point of discussing them?
Because A, I wanted to know what your exposure to them has been. B, I also obviously want to know if you are in possession of a Labubu.
I'm not in the possession of a Labubu.
Mm-hmm.
Most things of this nature are not for me.
Sure.
Does this make sense?
Sure.
Like, why would I have one of these to hang off my Prada bag when I go into the duplex? Like,
have Beanie Babies?
If that's true,
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all it's very strange.
I had Beanie Babies.
But this is the thing. They're based on some cartoon, and I believe created in Hong Kong, and they're these ugly creatures. They look like trolls wearing a bunny suit, and they have jagged teeth. But celebrities have just started. They're like the hot accessory, and they're hanging off people's purses.
They're like troll dolls.
They look like dog toys. It looks like Kim Kardashian has a dog toy hanging from her.
Yes.
purse.
I mean, it's all marketing. The whole thing is marketing. I mean, remember like the Funko Pops when that first started, and now it's like humongous. But like when that first started and it was like a collector's item, it's the same thing.
A couple of days ago, there's a popular gay DJ here in New York. I'm assuming he's about between 40 and 45 years old. And he did a live opening of his very first Labubu. And I was humiliated for him. I'm like, you're a guy.
Same. I am right now.
What are you doing, sir? Like, what? You're upending your legendary status.
A grown man.
A grown man.
Have dignity for once.
/ we're also a podcast that respects choice. Anyway, but just only ours.
It's just like it's crazy. Like, well, now with Instagram, this is not what you wanted this to become. But
let it be whatever she's going to be.
Media. Now with social media, like this kind of stuff is going to happen like all the time because it's just truly like.
I wouldn't bring it up if
do you know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't bring it up if celebrities weren't involved. I wouldn't even bring it up here. But it seems like so many of them are carrying them. And then on her already disastrous tour, Katy Perry took her microphone and knocked someone's Labubu out of their hand during her concert from the stage.
Wait, I like that. I actually like that a lot. Was it on purpose?
Yes. Yeah, it was on purpose. Has Katy Perry redeemed herself to you because she beat that Labubu?
No, because we haven't even talked about this. Did you see the video where she points to someone in the crowd and is like, you've been like DMing my man or something like that.
Oh, I did see that. It was weird.
And it's like so clearly fake and put on.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're such a loser. Anyway.
I mean, since we're talking about them, I mean, the rumors are that they are on the verge of splitting up. Like we were going to speak about it a little bit later, but apparently she's on tour. I don't know if that's the excuse or what, but Orlando Bloom is going alone to the Bezos-Sanchez nuptials, or as the Hollywood Reporter's calling it, merger. The Bezos-Sanchez merger in Venice. He goes without her.
Yeah, but again, that's probably because she's on tour and she like can't do it. She probably like is performing that night that they're.
Well, allow me to speak for a curious public when I say, is it? I mean, who knows? I don't know, but
wait, did you see that they have to move their venue because those people put out that humongous like tarp that said like, get the fuck out of Venice, Bezos or something like that?
I mean, they've basically rented the entire city basically for the wedding.
Yeah.
There are super yachts pulling up, clogging this normally beautiful and historic landmark city. It's just really funny. There was an article in the Post today about the amount of yachts that are in Venice because of it.
Well, no, there's people protesting the wedding. The people are like going after them.
They should be.
The Italians are like hitting back is what's happening. And I'm like eating popcorn. I'm like chomping away at the popcorn, like waiting
Venice
to see what happens.
in particular, because it has always, particularly the past couple of years, they have really revolted against tourism. Specifically disrespectful tourists. You know, Venice is known as La Serenissima, which just means serene. Like they want to be quiet. It's just a shame because they're beautiful. And when something is beautiful, I can't get enough of it. So Venice, if you want us to stop coming there, replace all the water with, I don't know, actual shit. And then no one's going to care. If you're not pretty, we're not going to bother with you. Welcome to planet Earth. And congratulations, Lauren Sanchez.
But also, too, I love that they're like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking billionaire losers. And I'm like, yeah, get them.
I hope someone takes a bag of actual poop and flies it over the wedding in a drone and just drops it on them.
Drops it on her head.
Yeah.
Did you see they had a foam party?
Wow.
On their yacht?
Was like, this in 2010?
25?
Yeah, when was it?
Like, what are they, sucking cock at Splash in a phone party?
It's like, when you're that rich, you shouldn't even
want to do any of this.
We get it that you're rich. You don't have to do all this.
It's so losery.
You do it
it's
every
the most
day.
loser behavior ever. Dominic, a foam party.
It really is the sort of thing when you're that rich and you do something this like majestic with
juvenile.
It. Where you really don't. I mean, I know like Miranda Priestley will say like, they want to be us. They want to be us. And to a certain point, it's like, yeah, I wish I had your money, but I guarantee you I wouldn't be as douchey with it, you know? But it's like, you'll never be cool like all these mega rich people. It's like, I'm glad you have money. Of course, I'll be jealous of it, but you'll never have the respect of people that are us because it's weird.
Dominic.
It's just weird.
Dominic, if you told me in P-Town we were going to a foam party, I would be like, are you a fucking loser? Like, I would truly be like, I'm not doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like I'm above that and I'm nobody, let alone them having a foam party. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, what on
I love that you're
wrong?
stuck on the foam party. And all I want to talk about is what will he match whatever the cost of this wedding was? Would he match it to, I don't even know if I should go here. I can't. When I see extravagance at this level, I can't, it just makes me angry because I know that the money could go somewhere else. That would be the best.
Anywhere else.
That would be the way to seem cool to people and make them actually jealous of you. Is if you're like, we're going to do $100 million wedding, but you know what we're going to do instead? Give health care to the entire Northeast for the rest of this decade. We're done.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now we'll move on from it.
Yeah.
I love
losers.
if we can. No, look, we love frivolity. We love camp. I even love to like spend wastefully. But when I see this shit,
no, Dominic, this is another that's us like getting an extra martini somewhere or like buying a jacket that's too expensive. That's not
celebrities on the, Muppets in Space, all the shit he does. Yeah. He's the worst billionaire of all. And we know some shitty billionaires. He's
sure do.
Really like, he's up there. Anyway, congratulations, Lauren Sanchez. You are and always will be the fucking temptress of the century. You win everything. Maybe you can class your man up so we don't have to see this again.
Except for the a face contest.
Woo! Okay, well, speaking of the world's great faces, Cher, my idol, my hero, our Lord, Cher, her book is being pushed. Perhaps you've heard the bad news. It was coming out at
Are you
Thanksgiving.
devastated?
I was initially, but I realized because the book is not coming out, part 2 of the memoir is not coming out at Thanksgiving, it'll actually come out May 19th, 2026, which is, I would assume, part of a larger plan because that is the day before Cher's 80th birthday. 80. So I'm sure it's going to be part of a whole blobbity blah.
Not another farewell tour.
Well, I bet it'll be smaller than whatever Jeff Bezos is doing in Venice this weekend. I guarantee you that. Sure. From marriage to divorce, are the Biebers getting one? It's all some people are talking about. She's done the classic celebrity move of ditching her wedding ring temporarily.
Well, now that she has that $600 million that we...
Speaking of billionaires, sure.
Road Beauty or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, speaking of billionaires.
Like, she's like, oh, I don't need to be with you anymore because I have my own money for once. Like, LOL, by the way.
All I can tell you is that in the midst of, every week it's like, is Justin having a breakdown? Is he not? Should we be leaving him alone like he requests? Oh, by the way, last week I did compare you to Chris Crocker, and I should have said Kara Cunningham because Chris Crocker is a dead name. For the record, and thank you to those of you who wrote in about that.
Sure.
I think that she is actually not divorcing him and that she probably just left it on the sink. I don't think that she is divorcing him. I think that leaving him...
I think she just didn't wear it one day.
Yeah, I think that...
Also, to be fair,
I don't think she'd be that cruel when he's obviously going through a mental breakdown that she would leave him.
And it's not if you have her wedding ring is probably worth what? $10 million. You know what I mean? She probably has a $10 million wedding ring. You don't just bop that around everywhere.
I guess not. I don't know where she's been photographed without it. Perhaps it was at Gelson's or a fisting party or somewhere where you don't want to wear something that large. So maybe, I don't know.
A fisting party.
But there's only so much Justin Bieber can take in one short lifetime. And if his billionaire wife leaves him, I think that would be doom for him. Doom.
No, but again, she's like, oh, I need it. This is what I don't like, okay, is when they're on the gravy train of the Bieber, that Kris Jenner's also to be at fault for this. It's like you're on the gravy train of the Biebs, and then she gets her own money, and she's like, oh, I don't need to be with you anymore, you fucking loser. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that shit.
Shame on you.
And again, I'm projecting that she feels that way. She could have just, again, forgotten her wedding ring to wear it or left it in the safe to not be attacked on the street to be it's stolen off her hand. But I don't like I'm suckling on the teat of Justin Bieber, but oh wait, I made my own money. Okay, I don't need to be with you anymore. Bye.
Well, to make matters worse, it appears that Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez, after a short period of peace, are now at it again. Because, wait for it, they have unfollowed each other on Instagram.
Did they ever follow each other?
Apparently they had refollowed each other. And, remember Selena was giving Hailey some support when Justin revealed that he once told her she was too ugly to be on the cover of Vogue. And then she got on Vogue and Selena was like, I feel your pain. And they scissored. And then I don't know what happened. Now they've unfollowed each other again. Also, there are people who are checking this, right? Because when you have millions of followers, you don't get a message from Instagram that someone's unfollowed you. There are people who are checking.
You don't get one no matter how many followers you have, you never get anything that says
no, that's unfollowed you. No, you get a little note when someone's followed you, but this means that it's not Hailey and Selena that are aware when they're being unfollowed. It's maniacs who are checking every day to see if someone's unfollowed each other. I want that job. That's a day job I'd go back to. Just looking to see who's following who on Instagram.
But also they have whole media managing teams. They're not on their own Instagrams ever. Do you know what I mean? That's the other part of this is it's not me and you DMing people. They don't even get on their own Instagram.
Yeah, I'm also pretending that's not what I do all day now anyway. It's look at Instagram. Yeah. But I don't check to see who's following each other. It seems too time consuming.
No. But there are psychopaths that do that.
So Beyonce is still on tour. She goes to Paris. She performs there on Juneteenth. And who walks out on that stage? Miley Louise Cyrus. The crowd goes fucking wild. And if you're keeping tabs on the Cowboy Carter tour, this woman is twirling out in new outfits every single night. Like I have not seen this level of wardrobery on a tour in perhaps ever. Like this is a major tour with one night of wardrobe on a tour like this costs more than any of us will make in a year. And to change it up like every night, woo, that's money well spent. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
She did that for a lot of Renaissance as well. Like she had her main outfits, but a lot of other ones she like changed every night. And like a lot of the things that she's doing is like her going to random people on Etsy and being like, make me this. Like she had like a cowboy hat that was like a Yankees cowboy hat with like denim jeans over like, as if like these denim jeans are being unbuttoned on the top of the cowboy hat. And then you see the Yankees logo. And like some random like influencer made that for her and didn't know who it was going to be for. And then she's like, oh my God, it was fucking for Beyonce. Like, Jesus Christ.
And now everybody wants one, obviously.
Yeah, like that's like so cool.
Oh, it's great.
Like,
no, she always spreads the wealth.
Unlike people that do a foam party. It's so interesting how and it's really plotted out and like curated. And yeah, no, she's spending the money. I don't love that all this happened in the Paris show and not somewhere in Houston or.
Well, we don't know yet. Houston's coming up. Houston's, I think, the last date, which is coming up. She comes back to the US for that. So that's the one I think where
she's going to be putting out all the stuff.
I think when Beyonce gets to Houston, the special guest that night is going to be Jesus Christ, and he's going to get off the cross and just put her up there. No nails, though, baby. No nails. He's just
themselves.
Yeah, he's just going to tie her up there with some like velour shoelaces or something, and just let red shoelaces. But Jesus is going to the Houston stop. There's no fucking doubt. Like, what do you do?
Velour shoelaces.
So gentle. She's the world's most valuable woman. But the following night, actually, I think after Miley, Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z Knowles, went out onto the stage and they did 4 fucking numbers together. This is the one where I'm like, oh God, I wish you did that in New Jersey. But they did Crazy in Love. They did Drunk in Love. They did Partition. And wait for it. In Paris, what song do you think Jay-Z sang?
N-Words in Paris.
N-Words in Paris. And the crowd... I mean, it was like
insane,
Richter scale level.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all I want to know is when the crowd was going insane and singing N-Words in Paris along with Jay-Z, when this majority Caucasian crowd was singing this song out loud, I want to know what you said. I want video of that. What did you sing back at Jay-Z? France, how dare you? How dare you,
honestly. But in every way, they were set up by Jay-Z himself.
1 billion %. Like 1 billion trillion.
No, but how dare, but also how dare you just in general. This is like what's a bummer about these like world tours is like, we're like, oh, we're like first in line to buy a ticket because we're a loyal fan. And then we get the normal show, which was great. But then all these extras things, it's like, oh, these, you know? We talked about this before, but I don't like it.
I if there's something, there's sort of like Kinder eggs. If there's something at each tour that you're doing so we can all feel special, then I think it's great. I'll FOMO the others, but like it needs to be every single tour. Stop. It can't just be like Paris gets Miley and Jay-Z, Houston gets Jesus Christ, and we got
nothing. We got no one.
We didn't. Were there special guests at MetLife? I can't remember.
No.
Huh. Well,
so like, I'm upset.
I know you are, Chris. Does this mean we're fixing Beyonce? Is that how far are we going to take this?
No, I'm just upset. I'm allowed to have emotions.
I would never even think to prevent you from not having emotions. I wouldn't know who you'd be without them. Let's see what your emotions are about this. Have you seen the new album cover for Sabrina Carpenter's new album?
Yeah.
Are you as outraged as the people who are pretending to be outraged about it are?
No. Like, who cares? Like,
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known anything about it if it hadn't been forced onto me via the internet. I would have listened to her songs. Her song Man Child, definitely one of the songs of the summer. It's super cute and catchy. Good for you. And the album cover is basically like her on all fours and someone's pulling her hair. You know, she's at waist level. You can interpret whatever you want. She's not like filleting him, but it seems like that's about to happen or that someone's forcing, maybe people are thinking he's forcing her to do it. I have no idea, but it's just an album cover. And really, I know artists are influential, but not her in that way. No one's going to commit violence.
Also, just like stop. Like just stop.
Yeah. If you're afraid your 13-year-old's going to like start being slutty, it's not going to be from Sabrina Carpenter's album. It's going to be because you're married to your daughter's father and you still have a Hinge account and your daughter knows it. That's why she's going to be slutty. Don't blame Sabrina Carpenter for all this nonsense. Stop it. You know who you are.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Speaking of sluts, by the way, there are no sluts in this story involved. I just wanted to say, speaking of sluts, Justin Baldoni had a win right after we did our last episode because he's now allowed to subpoena those Taylor texts. He can seek Taylor's texts to Blake Lively and introduce them into evidence.
For what? Guys, come on. Like, haven't we done enough here? Haven't we done enough here?
I mean, have you ever, we might have to create a new Fixie award for story
Most
we were obsessed with. No, story
alive.
like that we were obsessed with that we ended up loathing before it ended. We spent January talking about this. We did two
salivating,
like two solid investigative Patreon episodes with an attorney to guide us through all of this. And then something happened like in March or April where we were like, can someone just put these two out of their misery or put us out of ours? Really? Like it was, we've turned on them entirely.
And again, what does it matter?
Everyone wants to know who lost.
At the end of this, guess what? At the end of this, we're not like getting it ends with us too. You know what I mean? Like it's like, and even if we are, I'm like actively not going to go see it.
Seriously, like I wouldn't hate watch that. I would watch Rust before I would watch It Ends With Us Too. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm not joking about it. They need to just go away, these two. Enough.
Yeah. They're getting Adrian Brody disease.
And they haven't even won an award.
Well. And they haven't even done anything. And they never will.
Let's talk about Amber Elle for a second, because is it possible that when Amber Elle passed away, we were recording the a la carte last week?
It was right in between recording.
Yes.
We found out right after we finished recording the intro, like the Pre-Fixe and the a la carte. And we started the a la carte.
This is something. And you, I don't know if our viewers, you worked with her at a certain point, didn't you?
For an episode or two, she's not someone that I knew well at all, or even knew by name really. Like she was on Beat Bobby Flay a couple times, but I was never like close with her like I am with some of the other people.
Right.
I didn't cross a lot of paths. I never worked on Worst Cooks in America, which was like her big show on Food Network. I didn't work on that. So I didn't know her, but like many a friend that I work with on Food Network shows like has worked with her for years and years and years. Yeah,
really to like a New York. I mean, she's known all over the world, obviously, but she lived in New York, specifically in Brooklyn, and as much of a legend here, I guess, or maybe more so than around the world. But I mean, it never seemed cut and dry from the moment they announced her death, just because she was so young. And then as each day goes by, I just find myself going, oh, we're going to be talking about this for a minute. Like friends are questioning all these pills and how long. I mean, I'm not making any allegations about anything. However, it just something's up. Something's weird. The friends are asking questions. That's never a good sign. Like, it's never a good sign. So I don't know what happened. I mean, I certainly hope none of the sinister outcomes that are circling like vultures are the truth. I mean, I don't want to say I hope she had a heart attack, but I really do hope that there was no foul play involved here, including on her own part. Because she was really loved. I mean, a lot of tributes last week. A lot of people
she's also young.
Shook. She's like
young.
53 or something, right? 52, 53.
Yeah.
Really shook. So.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like really sad. And a lot of the people that I know at Food Network were like, she like championed me into this role that I had.
I bet.
Like it's sad.
I only met her once. She was on Long Island Medium when I was running it, and we had her on. So we just spent a morning with her. No memories, good or bad, which means she was lovely. She was just as she appears on television.
Yeah.
So let's talk about someone whose death probably wouldn't spark a lot of tributes when it happens. I'm speaking about R. Kelly right now, okay? Who just this bitch can't stop, won't stop. R. Kelly can't. So he's looking for a pardon. Now he wants his trial and his sentencing dismissed because he feels like he has been the plot of a murder conspiracy, that he was given the wrong medication or not enough medication in jail. And he thinks that the people who run the prison are trying to kill him. So he wants his conviction vacated.
But that's not okay. Okay, let's go on this roller coaster of lunacy.
Let's walk.
That you're
let's
just saying
take
to
this
me right
walk.
now.
Do it.
Let's say that they do. Let's say that they tried to kill him with these pills or whatever the fuck happened. The 2 Cialis that he took instead of 1, as you said last week on the podcast. That doesn't mean you're not a criminal. That doesn't mean you don't deserve to still be in prison. That means someone else did something bad to you. That doesn't mean you now get to get out of jail free because someone in prison was mean to you,
right,
or was nefarious towards you.
And from my extensive viewing of the prison dramas Oz and Wentworth, I can tell you that if someone's trying to kill you in prison, they will put you in solitary to protect you. So if someone's trying to kill you, you better get proactive. Or as Gayle King says, sit down, Robert. No one cares in here, out here. Complain in there. A pardon from President Trump.
Yeah.
Out of your fucking mind. That's all I have to say about it.
But don't you love that it's like, oh, something bad happened to me, so that means I should just like be out of prison. Like, that's not how this works at all. Like, at all. Like, oh, I'm not safe here, so that means like my record should be expunged. It's like, no, if that is true, you should be moved to a different prison. Like, if you can prove that someone at that prison is like out to get you, a guard, someone, like, then you get moved somewhere else.
Or
that's
go
what happens.
into solitary, or we remove you from people in general. That's just the end of it. Not we erase your crimes and you leave.
Yeah.
But that is definitely a curse of what happens to human beings when they become famous, is that you do think Harvey Weinstein's doing the same thing. Is like, I'm in poor health, I should be out of jail. No, that's what jail is. It means no matter what you're doing in life, you don't get to be outside because you did bad things to other people. So just because you get sick doesn't mean anything.
No.
Fuck him too.
Yeah. I mean, we only like scream about him every episode and like to literally wish him to die soon. So
speaking of criminals, or shall I say exonerated criminals, which I guess doesn't make sense. It just means they're innocent. Jussie Smollett is engaged. Sorry, ladies. Jussie Smollett's off the market.
Oh, brother. Does anyone care about him? I'm so sorry, but like, who cares? I know that's mean, but
I don't. I hardly think this is where we should draw the line about being mean with Jussie Smollett, but not caring about this queen. But I don't know. I mean, I think people do. Yeah. I mean, I only care about him because he's hot. Beyond that, I don't really particularly give a shit. I'm not like a fan of Jussie Smollett's acting. I'm just a fan of him being hot and him possibly staging his own attack. I mean, I can't think of two things more attractive to me. While we're still in crime mode here, we didn't get a chance to talk about this lawsuit against Tyler Perry that was announced last week. This sexual harassment lawsuit.
Please. This is like 10 years too late. I'm not going to lie to you. No.
10. I think bitches are going to be coming out of the woodwork from like 95. Please.
And by bitches, you mean grown men.
Yeah,
is what you mean.
Exclusively is what I mean.
Yes.
And, there was some remark, and this remark happened during the Diddy trial as well, where it's like, so we find out that these guys are attracted to or are intimate with men. And you bring it up, it's like, this is just an indictment of someone's very private life. No judgments are to be made here. It's like, I think if judgments weren't being made, you would have been honest about who you were before. So I agree you shouldn't be tried for being gay, but you don't get to all of a sudden. That's not what this is. You're not Harvey Firestein now, ladies. Sorry. It's not just like, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. It's like, nah, you were already judging it, and it made it worse for you because you weren't honest about who you were. It makes it worse for you in a situation like this. You know why? Because the jury knows you're concealing something. And if you're concealing that, what else would you lie about? So you get used by not being yourself. You start off in the hole, as it were. pun intended,
as they say,
into oblivion.
You love that. You
I
keep
love
saying
you
into oblivion
for saying it. I love the moment you use the phrase fisting into oblivion. I have been using it in my private life off this mic.
Why did I?
And
why
crediting
did I even
you
say
every
that?
time. I have
What did I
absolutely
say?
no idea. I asked you where someone was, and you were like, he's probably off getting fisted into oblivion. And I was like, whoa.
I don't even remember saying it. That's the sad part.
It was just aggressive for who I was. I can't remember who it was, but I'll remember.
Yeah. Dear God. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, Tyler Perry, good luck. But you want to know the funniest? Speaking of being fisted into oblivion. There are, I don't even want to get into it because it's so boring. It's like a run-of-the-mill sexual harassment.
Of course.
It just like, we respect consent here. We insist upon it. We're not making light of the case, but we're not going to pretend to be surprised about any of it.
I'm making jokes because it's like, LOL, like, this is so funny how ridiculous, like how this hasn't happened before is what I'm saying.
Part of the evidence is Tyler Perry up in someone's DMs, basically, just saying like, I'm so horny. Where are you? Derek. It's really that. It's crazy. And who's gotten dragged into this? Slash probably called her publicist to make her get dragged into it. The Duchess of Schmuckers, Meghan Louise Markle, is getting backlash for not speaking out against these allegations because Tyler Perry is Lilibet's godfather.
Oh, brother. No, this is too far. Are you kidding me?
I think she called the paparazzi on her own and was just like,
no,
hey,
sure.
Hey, you want a hot story? I can't tell you who told me this, but I think Meghan Markle, I think she's friends with Tyler Perry, and then hung up and then called back and said, by the way, don't forget that when Meghan and Harry moved to the United States, they stayed at Tyler Perry's house for free. And he's the godfather of their daughter. Click. And then called back a third time and said, if you run the story, I have it on good authority, you'll receive free jam from an anonymous source.
Dear God. So stupid. Why should she say anything? No, she has no reason to say anything. That's a perfect example of like, no matter what she does, she's wrong. You know what I mean? Because then if she does, everyone's like, why the fuck is she talking about this? She has no reason to, like, no matter what she does, she's wrong in this situation.
It's so fun. I was reading this article, by the way, which was in the Daily Fail. And I'm like, why are you dragging her?
Of course, that's her favorite thing to do in the whole world.
It wasn't like she sat down and made a list and said, I want the godfather of my daughter to be a closeted homosexual who harasses men.
Yeah.
That wasn't it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I love any celebrity getting backlash. Years ago, when Kathy Griffin started doing the red carpet, she got in trouble one year on E! Because Dakota Fanning was a child star at the time, like literally 10 years old at the time. And celebrities would come up to Kathy and she'd be like, who are you wearing? Are you excited to be here? What are your thoughts about Dakota Fanning entering rehab this morning? And Dakota was 10.
Oh my God.
And watching the faces of these celebrities take a beat to realize it was a joke.
Horrible.
But it was such like an indictment of like,
yes,
entertainment in general, even of what Kathy was doing. It was so so funny.
My God.
I'll just never forget
speaking
it.
Speaking of Meghan, did you see that she's stopping to do her podcast, her women empower, or her female founder podcast? Because she's
because she already empowered them all. So now she's done.
I know, it's back. I'm just hearkening back to our 100th episode, and I'm like, she can never finish anything.
Nope, you called it. You always call it with her, though. You do. You're sort of like the whisperer.
I know what I feel her movements, and I'm just like, no, she's going to do this again because it looks good. She got a huge deal probably to make I think they need so much money because they need so much security.
They do.
And she just keeps signing these deals. And then she's like, okay, when's the first moment that I can back out of doing this? I can right now. Great. Which again is smart.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Harry, it appears as though that he's going to try to make yet another attempt. He does the Invictus Games every year. That's his of thing. And so apparently he's going to be issuing formal invites to King Charles and Wills and Kate. in the hopes that that will be the moment when they can all gather together.
Be
Like
together.
it's like, it's for the 2026 games. I think they're in the spring, but yeah, so give
Just
everyone time to just sort of.
Why can't they just do it?
I know, I want them to
Like,
make
I
it
know
up.
why. Like, I know why. That's not
I
a real
want them to
question,
make
but
it
like,
up.
just do it. Just be together. You know, have them all be there and just because
Even
we
if
already
it's
know
just
that
one
you're.
last time, yeah.
We already know that your relationship's fake. Like, we already know that you have no relationship with each other. Like,
But
we
it's
know.
like you said, like, every
You
time
know?
I mean, they're never going to forgive Meghan. They're never going to forgive Meghan for branding
I
them
know, which is like so sad.
racist.
Which they are, you know? So
You know what's going to
There's
happen?
nothing to-
Here's my
There's-
prediction. This is when I want to be taken seriously, when this comes true as a Nostradamus for this new century.
Here we go. Here we go.
The royal family is going to agree to go to the Invictus Games. We're going to have months of buildup to it.
Yeah. Sure.
2 hours before H and Schmuckers are boarding the plane, Thomas Markle is going to be pronounced dead in the Philippines. That's how this is
my
gonna
God,
go.
Dominic, you couldn't be more right if you tried. Oh my
That's how
God.
this is going to go. That man is going to stage or will his own death in order to
my
prevent the
God,
royal family
Dominic.
reunion. That's what's going to happen. And God forgive me if I just gave him the idea, because Thomas Markle's probably like, you know what? I wasn't going to do anything, but now let's fuck those Invictus Games up.
Oh my God, you're so right. Or not die, but like needs a
Fall
triple
down.
bypass in the hospital, like heart attack, like cardiac arrest, like it was rushed to the hospital, like 5-alarm fire in his life. You know what I mean? And
Stunts will be pulled.
the
Stunts will be
stuntiest
pulled.
stunt. He's live streaming it from his phone in ambulance. You know what I mean? Like
Thomas
everything.
Markle and that maniac half sister of
Yeah, the one
Schmuckers,
in the
they
wheelchair,
are
yeah.
not going to let this reunion
No,
happen. They're not.
I know, which is so fucked up. Also, too, like, what is the point of them getting back together? It doesn't matter. They have no relationship.
I think if I'm like a monarchist, or even like if I'm a UK citizen and I'm like casually happy
like,
about being there,
yeah.
I think to them it would mean something. It just
No,
sucks
I
that like
get
the
it.
queen
Yeah.
dies and the family breaks apart. I don't know.
But also, you know, the other thing that makes me mad is like, King Charles, you went against your mom's wishes your whole life. And I watched 7 million seasons of a really good TV show on Netflix showing about how you never listened to anything your fucking mom said ever, like ever one time, and treated the mother of your children like a piece of shit the whole time. And then was with this fucking charlatan bitch. And then was like with her, even though it wasn't supposed to be right. They never were really they never got married in the eyes of the church of England, blah, 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 you know, like they never got the blessing from Elizabeth ever, right? Like, I don't think she went to their wedding, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. But
it
regardless,
was sort of like a registrar thing. I don't think their marriage was like quiet. Yeah.
Yes, like it wasn't like what we get.
It wasn't a ceremony.
And then for him to not just be like, yeah, I did everything that my mom didn't want me to do either. Like, we're good. I get it. Like, I get why they're like, I understand. But like, don't act like you were like following the letter of the law to any degree ever once, Mr. Tampon.
But I mean,
you know
you
what I
want
mean?
to talk
Like,
about something
let's not-
someone will never live down. He will never
once.
live that
Never.
down. It'll never
So like, let's
happen.
not act like he's like Mr. Coquettish of like, oh,
he never has been. And it's a great point to bring up, because like you cheated on your wife publicly.
The people's
you treated her
princess that the
badly.
entire world loved. Everyone loved her. Everyone.
It's like
Sorry.
he was a horrible spouse, and they hate Meghan because she's almost too good of one, actually. She's just trying to protect her husband and her.
Yeah. Yes. For the first time everyone's ever wanted to protect him ever, by the way.
Wow. Are we turning around on Meghan?
What's happening?
I don't know.
I want
do we have
I
heat
want to
stroke?
shake her. Do we have heat stroke? I want to shake her and just be like, Meghan, just wake up. Come on. Like, she's got it. She has it in her palm of her hand. If she could just wrap her fingers around it, she has it. But she's got to do it. And it's hard.
Let's switch gears. I want to talk about Broadway for a minute. Several listeners, by the way, have been chiming in that they do love that we do a few minutes of Broadway
Oh, good.
news every week, because it makes them want to come to shows. And it's like a world that they're not familiar with as much as we are, because we live here and we're inundated with it. And we are happy to. We love the theater. But I want to start off with a Tony-winning actress by the name of Nicole Scherzinger, who just has completed a worldwide triumph in a Broadway musical called Pussycat Boulevard. Did you think that she was done being in front of your face? She was not.
No.
Because this, Christopher, I want you to take a deep breath because I know how you feel about this performance. I feel like we're on opposite ends of the seesaw with this.
We couldn't be further apart from, you know how we came together with Megan? We have now been flung to different hemispheres of the globe with this. Go ahead.
Pride Week kicks off every year in New York City with a fundraiser called Broadway Bears, which is an always sold out, always incredibly talented revue with half-naked dancers and singers from Broadway is basically it. But it is a show. It's not like a striptease. It's like all the dancers who are costumed for the rest of the year, they get to just be out there in like a thong and sports bras showing you how amazing they look, how in shape they are, and how utterly sexy Broadway is. So who shows up this year and does a number but the Tony-winning actress from Pussycat Boulevard, Nicole Scherzinger? She comes out there with her Tony, arrogantly twinging the little gong on it, twirling it, and then goes into with full choreo and the ensemble of Sunset Boulevard backing her up into the Pussycat Boulevard, into the Pussycat Dolls song Buttons. And she does it. And when I say she twerks it out, I mean, she does the original choreography from the video Buttons. And it is, to me, a magical moment in theater history. Christopher, your thoughts?
It's so blatantly like scripted for her to be campy about it and be like, isn't this, it's just like what ChatGPT or like AI like wrote for her to do next after she won a Tony. To like be, that's what I think. Yes, one, she looks great. Two, you know, she sang great, like whatever. It's just like, okay.
Well, the thing I love about it the most, and we talked about this a little bit on an upcoming pod that'll be here in a few weeks, but I love that it's like, you know, for the past 3 years, both in London and New York, she has been, we know her as a pussycat doll, and she has turned herself into the first lady of the Broadway stage. And she has been with pulled back buns and strapless dresses and elbow length gloves. Like, she has been doing everything she could. She won the Olivier.
To get out of it.
She won the Olivier and then she won the Tony. And the moment she wins the Tony, literally 7 days later, she shows up at Broadway Bears and says, I am still this bitch. It was crazy. It was crazy to watch because I never thought she'd do it again. If I'm one of the other Pussycat dolls, though, I'm waking up really pissed off today.
Oh, no, they're furious and should be, by the way. Should be. I'm on their side. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, never forget when she was on like Behind the Music or whatever she was on, and she was like, I'm the only person singing on the whole album.
Yep.
Like when they all came in, it's like just my vocals.
Yep.
Because none of the other ones could sing. Even though that one, remember, never forget that one that like came over and like was trying to outsing her and like pushed her out of the way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Oh yeah. That's a famous video. I can't think of that woman's name, but it's a great.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. She's never been seen from again, but
she's with Shelley.
She's with Shelley. But it was just too, I don't know. Also, someone that I know said that they've worked with her, and when they worked with her, she was just so try hard of trying to be like knowing everyone and being like, oh my God, yes, like, and like trying to be so earnest. And there's something in the back of my mind that I think that about her now, and it's ruined her a little bit for me.
Sometimes really, really hot people feel obligated to behave that way everywhere.
Yeah.
And you just want to look at them, put your hands on their shoulders gently and say, honey, just enjoy the gift. You don't have to try at anything. Yeah. Just be nice to people, but don't do it. Just be beautiful. Just do that. Because she is that level of beautiful to me. Like, she is just like stunningly gorgeous. Just do that. You do it so well. You won the Tony. That's great.
All right.
If I look like that, I wouldn't try to do anything.
No.
I wouldn't get out of bed. I'd just sit there and have people crawl in it with me. That'd be it.
We know. We know you would do that.
Wait, can we do one more story before we leave? We have to talk about this because it's so like we're assaulting all the first ladies of the stage. So Jamie Lloyd, who is the person that conceived this and directed this version of Sunset Boulevard that has won all these awards. is the one behind Evita in London. And we mentioned this on last week's broadcast a little bit, either here or on the a la carte. And so people were nervous before Evita, starring Rachel Zegler, she of West Side Story and Snow White, that she was out on the balcony singing the signature song, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Okay. It is now officially part of the show. Mm-hmm. People are losing their minds. We have spoken about this before. People are absolutely losing their minds. There's been backlash. People are asking for money because what they're watching in the theater is a streamed performance of her singing Don't Cry for Me, Argentina out on the street on a balcony above the theater. And as if that wasn't bad enough, now, because there's been a heat wave there, someone has passed out while watching her performance.
God, only a matter of time. Jesus Christ on a cross.
England is trying to make Rachel Zegler stay indoors. They do not want her out on that street or on that balcony.
It's just, but also it's just, I would also be mad. I get it. Like, should they be like freaking out? No, but it's like, it is such a choice. But also like, oh, you know what it is? It's really gonna, okay, it works there. When it comes here, and there's like people walking by being like, shut the fuck up, you bitch. Like whenever we're walking by, like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like in London, you walk down the busy streets and it's like not loud. Like there's no honking. There's no people screaming. There's no one like that's like out of their mind walking down the street with no shirt on, like screaming at everyone. Like when she's on like literal Broadway and is like out on that balcony, someone's going to be like, stop singing. Like someone's going to be like,
well, they do, you know, they're comparing it
like,
they have to shut down a street every night. For those of you who don't know, with Sunset Boulevard, because there's the opening of Act 2, yeah. The male lead, they did this in London too, literally wanders the street outside the theater for a good 5 minutes. And he is surrounded by so many people. I agree with you. I don't know how she'll be protected up there. If I'm in the building across the street while she's singing that, I'm going to have a TikTok that's just me interrupting Rachel Zegler during Evita every night.
Like Rachel, like, you know what I mean? Like people are going to be stunty on purpose and do that. 100%.
There's like a lot of people are like lauding the decision because the creative choice is like, let all the people who paid $500 sit inside and let all the poor people, because Evita was a person for the poor people in real life. Yeah. They're like, let her come out and sing her best number to the people while all the rich people wait. First of all, as someone who goes to see a lot of theater, oh, we're not rich, so please stop saying that. That's
I'm poor because I spent this much money.
Poor, yes. We're poor, so we need Evita to sing to us in the theater. Please. Thank you.
Yeah. I will say a listener did go see it and said it was incredible.
Really?
And said that like, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina isn't one of the best songs in the musical. Like when this person saw the whole thing, they were like, it wasn't even that. Like there were way better songs that you were like, wow, I'm so like, this was great. So I will say someone saw it and did say it was really good. So
I love that. I won't be to London probably until December, unfortunately. I hope it comes here. I hope I get to see it.
And when we're there, you know, we're going to see Dracula.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if there's, I don't think there's any overlap between Evita and Dracula, but God, I hope so. God, I hope so. Speaking of travels, next week, we will be bringing you this show from Provincetown, Massachusetts, where Christopher, myself, and Christopher's partner will be celebrating the birth of our nation during a year when it feels like it could also be the death, but we're just going to ride this out with tequila until that happens. And we look forward, if you are on the Cape at any point next week, please shoot us a text or DM and come with us for lunch or drinks.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be in Provincetown anytime during the month of July, I will be there for all of that time while Chris continues something called a day job. Yeah. Oh, I'll be taking on several jobs in Provincetown.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will. Multiples at the same time. Yeah.
If God exists, yes, ma'am.
Jesus
Who are we
Christ.
fixing today? We're fixing Katie Holmes. Do we have anything to talk about? The Clitorally candles are gone. Thank you so much. They sold out. So thank you for those of you who bought them. Will they be back again? Who knows? Who knows?
One day, maybe.
We do have an announcement next week. Yeah, there's merch coming.
There's new merch right around the corner. That's all I'm going to say to you. Something
And
you've been wanting for a very long time.
It's literally the cutest, the bestest. It's great.
You'll see. You'll see. Also, again, the Patreon people are signing up and are like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe it took me this long to get on the Patreon. Again, free episodes in the show notes of every single one of these episodes. You can click on the link to the free episodes that you can just sample and then decide if you want to sign up. And you're going to say yes, I know it.
And stay tuned, by the way, for the a la carte, because we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff, including a rehash of a Golden Girls feud between B. Arthur and Betty White, which is mildly hilarious, who will be hosting the reboot of the new Fear Factor, and Ellen DeGeneres, now a brunette, has checked in from the UK to show you all the sheep that live in her house. And if that doesn't excite you, we're going to talk about Hugh Jackman's divorce being final. A $250 million divorce. Can you imagine?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
$250 million he was worth.
That's crazy. All right. Well, we'll see you right after these vital messages.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cash back really adds up.
You know her and love her as the best-selling author of Everyone is Lying to You and The Sicilian Inheritance, as well as her podcast, Under the Influence. It's Jo Piazza. Thank you for being with us.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me.
A fellow Italian, question mark?
Oh my God, of course. Like the most Italian.
I mean, your last name is basically like pizza, so I assumed, but
yeah.
But I always like...
It just is pizza. For everyone. Like Joe Pizza, yes, 100%.
Joe Pizza, yeah. So it's always fun to have a fellow Italian with the two of us. So
because we're the most fun people on the planet.
Yeah, we are.
That means it's going to be a 4-hour episode because no one's going to shut the fuck up while we start talking.
Tell us a little bit about Everyone is Lying to You. Like, it's hot off the presses. Tell us everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So Everyone is Lying to You is the trad wife murder mystery that America didn't know it needed, but it does. It does indeed. It's about these conservative influencers, you know, the ones that you see on Instagram in their like beautiful linen dresses running through a field barefoot with their 19 children. Essentially just going wild and feral and murdering their husbands. And what happens next? It is juicy and bananas. And it's just like a delicious beach read thriller for this summer.
Well, Dominic and I are heading up to P-Town, so we do need a beach read.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Take this up to P-Town and give it to all the boys. And
by beach read, we mean a book that we can drink and then act out.
Well, that's why this is perfect for you. For all of my summer stops, I'm doing trad wife costume contests.
Ooh.
And I just think that is a vibe that y'all can cosplay real well.
100%.
For sure.
My God, I'm going to get my ballerina farm best on and get right up there. Yeah.
Wait.
If I don't see you as ballerina farm within like the next couple of weeks, like I feel like I haven't done my job as a human on this.
You were just on Chelsea Devon's podcast and you guys were talking about, she loves to talk about ballerina farm. And when I was on it last, she was like, you know, ballerina farm. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then she told me. And so now I'm all up on ballerina farm. And so this is like, so your book is the next, like that is my gateway to your book, basically.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Exactly. It was that and then this. Yep.
Where can we buy it? Anywhere books are sold?
All the book places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait. This is a summer read. Like, hello, let's do it.
Oh, no, this is like, I think it's the summer read. Like, this is the summer read that the internet is not going to shut up about because, like, I mean, everyone wants to talk about Ballerina Farm and the Trad Wives, and now we want to see what would really happen behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Is there an audiobook and who reads it?
Oh my God, there is an audiobook and it is so, so good. I have the same audiobook reader that did part of Sicilian Inheritance for me. She's awesome. But then also, what the woman who plays the influencer in this is my neighbor in the Catskills, Sarah, who was a trained Shakespearean actress, but she could do anything. She's the head of the Catskills Mountain Shakespeare Company, and she also raises chickens. So like, I was like, you are the perfect person to be my crazy ass trad wife.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's going to be some chicanery going on in the audiobook is what you're telling me.
There's so much. Well, yeah, and because I also like burst in while she was doing it a bunch of times too. And just,
I love that.
I know. I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah. Good. You should. Speaking of having fun, question mark, has this person had any fun ever? Has this person ever had any fun since like something really horrible happened to her in her life? Should we talk about it?
Let's talk about
it. I do. This person seems like they're having the least amount of fun of pretty much most people in America. Yeah.
Listeners, we're speaking about Katie Holmes. And if I could pick one adjective to describe Katie Holmes, it would be reluctant. She just seems reluctant every day with every move, from getting married to acting gigs to walking out the front door. Even when she was on the Tonys recently, she walked out there and was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Why? Why am I here? Now, she's in a Broadway play. I mean, she was in Our Town this year, got wonderful notices, really didn't care about being at the Tonys. She was just like, I'm here to be tall and reluctant. I didn't get nominated. What am I doing?
She's like the human equivalent of the shrug emoji. Like
a little bit.
Fine. I guess I'm here, but I don't really like it. I don't really want to be here.
She's very much like Kristen Stewart. Hold my beer and watch how to do this taller. Like this is what Katie Holmes is doing. But before we move any further, Joe, we have to play our middle name game, which we do at the top of every broadcast, where we ask our guest and Christopher to guess the middle name of the person that we are fixing. Now, we know her as Katie Holmes. It appears as though her birth name is Kate Holmes. And one will remember a certain husband of hers who also referred to her as Kate. That was her only husband, by the way.
It's not Catherine.
Wikipedia refers to her as Kate Holmes. Kate Holmes does have a middle name. At least Kate Holmes is her biological, her given name. She is 46 years old. She was born on December 18th, 1978, which makes her a Sagittarius. Or if you're speaking Spanish, a Sagittarius. She was... I only know this because there was a queen on Drag Race España named Sagittaria. Apropos of nothing, she was born, Kate, not Sagittaria, in Toledo, Ohio in 1978. That geography is always it's a real clincher about what pool you're going to pull from. What is Kate Holmes' middle name?
So I know that this isn't right, but I would go with a very like basic B90s middle name, like Kate Kimberly Holmes.
A good guess?
I've just gone on a roller. That's a beautiful guess. I just went on a roller coaster because I was like, it's Catherine. And then it was going to guess Evelyn as Catherine Evelyn, which I was like, that's right. I know it's right. And then you said it was Kate. Then I was like, fuck. And then I was like, Kate Sophia ? Or like Beverly, and I was like, no. And then I was like, because then I heard Toledo, Ohio, and now I'm like, fuck. And so my guess,
there's no Beverly in the Toledo.
Suzanne
Suzanne.
I love that guess.
With a Z?
Yes,
I love both of these guesses. Neither of them is correct. Kate Holmes' middle name, Noelle.
I was
Noelle. Kate Noelle Holmes.
I like the name.
I do too, but no one was ever going to get that.
No, never once.
No.
KNH. Not a great acronym, if I'm being honest. KNH is like the airport code for somewhere very far east, very small. Like I've never seen it. No one goes there.
You don't want to land.
I'm flying into KNH. What is that? Siri, what's KNH? Like it's a
I'm like, you mean KLM, the airline? I'm like, your wires are crossed. Yeah. Anyway. I mean, how do we start?
There's so many places to start. And well, I just want to say, I'm really glad that you guys let me do this episode for 2 reasons. One, I was a big Dawson's Creek stan.
Same.
To the extent that I think this shirt could have been from the J. Crew collection.
Oh, maybe.
The catalog did the crossover. I still have some of that shit. I loved it. And I also loved Joey Potter. Okay.
Yeah.
I fuck Dawson. I'm so not into Dawson, but like I was a big Pacey fan, obviously. Still am. Love me some Joshua Jackson, who I think has like done things right. By the way, I will watch Joshua Jackson in any trash TV.
Are you watching Dr. Odyssey?
Of course I'm watching.
Question on everyone's mind.
Yes.
Okay.
I love Dr. Odyssey. I even loved him in that shitty reboot of Fatal Attraction. But
I forgot about that.
Oh no.
I tried to forget about it.
But like I really liked Joey. I did not like Michelle Williams in Dawson's Creek, but Joey Potter had like this joie de vivre, right? Which I did not say right. But like,
yeah, and I liked her climbing through the window. I liked her. Like she was
a whole different person than reluctant Katie Holmes is right now.
Joey was or Katie was?
Well, I think Joey was, but I also think Kate Noel as Joey, she glowed on that screen in a way that I have not seen her glow since.
Dawson's Creek, though, a real launch pad for so many people. Unfortunately, not really James Van Der Beek, but everyone else is still. Michelle Williams got Oscar nominations. Yeah. Katie Holmes, regardless of what we're about to say and fix her, she has worked under the radar, but very steadily, like behind and in front of the camera for decades. She's not doing a lot of marquee shit, but she's been around. And Joshua Jackson, like we said, has been, half the time sleeping his way through Hollywood, the other half just looking hot and making us wish he would sleep with us. Yeah.
He's just, a prince of trashy TV. Okay. Like he's very good at playing that like terrible guy that you want to sleep with.
He gets better looking every year. When he came out and presented at the Emmys just this past year, it was like the planet sort of woke up again and was like, oh, I should definitely be watching Dr. Odyssey without pants.
Without
pants. Like I remember them all like yearning to be adults. And I think, Dominic, that's why you didn't connect with it. Because
I was already an adult.
Yeah, it was like because James Van Der Beek wanted to be like the next or Dawson wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg, and they were like making movies in their rooms, which is like what I was doing at the time, and like it was very like there was this like ennui and like yearning for adulthood that wasn't angsty. It was like more earned. It gets very weird because I don't think that there's ever been a show since that has been like this. That was like not Full House where it's so heavy-handed with or Seventh Heaven that's so preachy versus
or One Tree Hill.
But like in between that and then like 90210 where they're like LA kids like being crazy, Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. This was full of like yearning and angst and a lot of sweetness. There's a lot of sweetness involved. Yeah. I don't remember how it ends. I'm racking my brain. I'm like,
I do.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, did Joey and Pacey do end up together, but then I think they get divorced.
They end up together. Michelle Williams dies of cancer.
Yeah, I knew that.
And like has a baby while she has cancer, but then she's filming the baby. She's filming like herself and being like, you will never meet me because I'm going to die when I give birth to you. But like, this is who I am. And James Van Der Beek is filming it. It's like such a bummer at the end. And then she dies. And then Pacey and Joey are together and Dawson is alone, ? Or with someone else. I don't remember. But anyhow.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're all stars from the show. Like they become big, humongous stars.
Totally.
What does she do next before Scientology wraps their little fingers around her is really the question.
Well, I mean, take your pick. The year that it came out, Dawson's Creek came out, she made her film debut as well, playing a teenager in The Ice Storm. Did you see this movie with Tobey Maguire? It is an Ang Lee movie. It is.
Yeah, it is. It's artsy. It's very artsy.
It's so good. I'd almost forgotten about it, but it was so good. She's a very small part in it. And then I remember she had another small, like supporting, she was the girl in a movie called Wonder Boys with Michael Douglas.
She was actually lovely in that. She was really lovely.
It's a great movie. It's like for writers, that's sort of like a seminal movie for people who were writing at the time. They found it inspirational. And then, you know, she also played, she was a Rachel Dawes, don't forget, in Batman Begins with Christian Bale. So she was popping in and out of pretty major shit post Dawson's Creek.
Good movies. And also like a couple of horror movies too. Like, you know, this was the big early 2000s horror movie craze where like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. were in all those slasher flicks. Like she was in, I remember Disturbing Behavior, I think.
Yep.
Was one of them.
Yep.
So she was doing all the things at this point.
That movie First Daughter. I forgot about that movie First Daughter. She was in that. Pieces of April. That's right. That was a really good movie. And I think she had the lead in that. And Patricia Clarkson got nominated for an Oscar for that, for supporting actress, I think. That was like a pretty big movie for her. Yeah. Prestige, if you will.
Prestige. She was doing both. She was like doing something like a little bit of indie stuff. You've got the Wonder Boys, Pieces of April, and then like these horror movies and stuff. And the Batman, they were like blockbuster movies.
She was an actress. She was a working actress, like a steadily working actress. And then, I mean, I think we all know what happened. Then she begins dating someone in April of 2005, right while she's at her like post Dawson's apex, which changes. I mean, it has to change the course of her life, her career, everything. Like who knows how she would be regarded or how prolific and memorable as an actress she would have been had she not met and then married a year, almost to the day of their first date, Thomas Louise Cruz.
Where's Shelley? Where is she? Where's Shelley? Is all I'm going to say. Just to get it out of the way.
It is as if he just like captured her light. And I was working as an entertainment journalist at this point as a gossip columnist, and this was the biggest story going.
Oh yeah,
that year. I don't even know where to begin because there's just so much to dig into with Katie and Tom, and I think a lot about how that story arc, and I think about celebrities in terms of story arcs. Okay, I'm like, obviously, like they're not even real people most of the time to me. I'm like, what is their arc? What's their narrative arc? What's their great comeback? Right? Marrying Tom Cruise did not sink Nicole Kidman. And I'm fascinated by that for her. No. But it did sink Katie in a very intensely dire way that she still has not recovered from.
And I know why. Because when they got together, he was way younger. You know who didn't have their teeth in him as much.
No, they did though. I mean, he had some guidance.
Okay, but like it wasn't as prominent. And Nicole Kidman and him are meeting on screen as like two stars.
Two equals people. Yep.
And then she then did everything she could to like keep working and keep doing like incredible movies to continue to become like the biggest movie star that we have.
The biggest movie star we have. I mean, could there be more polar opposites between Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes?
Yeah. And you know, the other thing that really, really didn't do well for her is never forget ever in our lives that I watched live on television. When Tom Cruise was on Oprah.
Yeah, the couch.
And he got up on that couch, jumping up and down, saying, I love this woman or whatever. I don't even remember what he was saying. Like, I love her so much. She's incredible. And then he runs backstage and pulls her out. And she's like, doesn't have makeup on and looks terrible. And like, is just like clearly just showed up to like support him and be in the green room. And he pulls her out onto the biggest daytime show to ever exist. And is like, I'm in love with this woman and I'm not gay. And there isn't a contract here at all. I definitely love her. And Oprah just lets it happen. And my mom and I stood in my living room in my childhood home with our hands over our mouths in utter shock.
Which I think the majority of America and the world did at that point. And
I mean, that's a seminal television
I remember watching it
beyond.
Like, I know where I was on 9/11 and here. Like that,
Sure.
like for real. Like, I remember watching the Friends finale with my mother. I remember watching this with my mother. Like,
It's
was
that big too. I mean, that's
humongous.
if you were to list the top 10 television moments of the 21st century, that's absolute and will be in there at the end of this century, even for people who were not yet alive. They will be taught about it in schools.
They will.
Because it was that big. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's like before Instagram. Like, it's still a meme today, and it like didn't exist in the time of memes.
Yep.
Right. He's the biggest movie star in the world, Nicole Kidman notwithstanding.
Yes.
The truly biggest movie star in the world, who we know is enrobed in this controversial cult, and he was with Nicole, and you don't really get to know him that well. And to see this moment of him literally losing his mind with vulnerability for the first time ever outside of being an actor, and then dragging her into it, that set the tone for everything that came after for both of them. Like for their marriage, for his career, for Scientology. It was a super important moment. This poor
watershed
woman,
moment.
Reluctant. Reluctant is not even the word.
Yeah. Dominic, to circle back,
she didn't want to
go out. She didn't want to go out there. She was like, I'm just here because you're here.
Yeah, and she just clearly had no choice. I mean, all of it was so carefully orchestrated. And look, I think about all the time what negotiations were made for this entire situation. Okay. So, what was agreed to, what wasn't agreed to, what is she allowed to even do now? And that's like, we're going to get into that when we talk about how to fix her. But she didn't want to do it. But it was so clear she did not have a choice.
No.
And it felt like she didn't have a choice in anything that came next.
No. Because clearly, like, does she ever act? I mean, like, what does she even do acting wise? Like, in between, like, basically nothing, right?
Nothing. She became, her biggest role became Tom Cruise's wife.
I mean, she does have some stuff.
The vessel that carried Surrey Cruise.
What would become the princess of Scientology, they wished.
They wished what they wanted. They wanted her to become the princess of Scientology. I remember I was still working in celebrity magazines when the celebrity baby picture boom went off, and the pictures were
She's the queen
of Surrey Cruise. Yeah.
Like, I mean, Surrey's the queen of them all. Like, she's the one that we all still to this day are like Surrey. Like, Surrey. Yeah. You know exactly what you're talking about. That's one name. One name.
There's only one
name. Just Surrey. I mean, it was kicked off by Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They were the ones that like had the first multi-million-dollar baby picture sale. And then Surrey was supposed to go for like about $3 million. And then I think Tom Cruise ended up canceling that sale for some reason. I forget why, because he was so psycho about controlling every image of his family.
Well, there you go.
So they started dating in April of 2005. They got engaged 2 months later, only 7 weeks after they had met.
Insane.
And Katie was Catholic and had been reading up before they got married. She'd read as much as she could about Scientology. And I misspoke earlier. They got married a year and a half after their first date, but she gave birth to Surrey a year after her first date. You don't want to say Surrey's a human being and deserves respect, but she seemed to be a deliberately expressed project on behalf of Tom Cruise and his organization. Because they didn't really get any time to like say, what's your favorite color? Where would you like to have a vacation home? Medicaid or Medicare? Like they didn't really have any of these discussions. They dated, got engaged, and got pregnant like in the length of like a season of American Dad, basically. Like this is how quick it happened.
Katie was so young too. And she's
we're
the same age. So she wasn't even 30 yet.
No. Well, think about like in the celebrity like PR world, like they're like, do you want to quote unquote date Tom Cruise, humongous air quotes? And she's like, yeah, I fucking do. So I can like get some better movie roles. And then he's like, I'm in love with you. And everyone that has ever met him that I know has said like, when he turns his light on you, like it's magnetic and you like melt. You know what I mean?
It's insane. So, like, I've interviewed him in person like 3 times, and every time, despite the fact that he's slightly shorter than I am as well, he feels like the biggest like most important person in the room. And he grasps both your hands while he's talking to you too in his. And you're like, oh my God, Tom Cruise is in love with me too.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, he then turned his light on her and she's like, oh, wait, we're like actually in love. And then she basically signed her life away. Yeah. Do we know if there was a contract in their relationship, much like whenever, because remember, like whenever Nicole Kidman, there's those pictures of her like leaving. It's not real. I know that it's been like debunked, but it's like the photos of her like leaving their divorce, and she's like so happy.
Nicole herself has told you that she was just having a good day and wasn't celebrating anything.
Right. Sure. One thing we do know, and one thing I know from covering celebrities for so long, there is always a fucking contract.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, regardless of how the relationship comes to be or what the purpose of a relationship is, there is 99% of the time a contract about what someone can and cannot do. And that contract is ironclad in favor of the more powerful celebrity, who in this case was 100% Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And so
150%.
I believe, in my opinion, that Katie was under full lockdown of what she could and could not do during this relationship, because he was the powerful one in the marriage. He had all of the power when it came to it. And at the end of the day, she did have this baby who she loved and wanted to protect. And I think that that is what keeps her abiding by whatever she had to sign up until today.
God, it's so dark. I know we're usually supposed to be like having zingers, but this is just like so horrifying.
It's the darkest part of Hollywood. And again, Hollywood has been arranging marriages for whatever reasons. Some of them begin with a love match. Some of them begin with a pregnancy. Some of them begin just because. But Hollywood has been setting these kinds of relationships up since the beginning of Hollywood in order to boost certain people's careers, to boost box office numbers at movie theaters. And again, this is why I think about celebrities in terms of narratives and story arcs, as opposed to thinking about them as, living, breathing human beings, which probably, makes me a cold, dark person, but this is who I am.
And let's not forget that Where's Shelley comes out of
The wedding.
Because at the end of the day, they're trying so hard to get Leah Remini to bring J-Lo to Tom Cruise's wedding. And when she gets there, she's going to sit and she sees that she's not sat by, like, Shelley doesn't have a seat. And she says, where's Shelley? And
where is Shelley?
And they were like, how fucking dare you ask where she is? And she was like, she's my friend and I want her to like come to this. Like, why is she late to this wedding? Why is this a weird question?
Yeah, her husband was the best man, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that wedding, by the way, was 19 years ago.
Oh my God, shut up.
So we repeat.
Oh God.
Where's Shelley?
Are there Where's Shelley t-shirts? Because
we should make some.
Can we make some merch from this episode?
Yeah.
Because I'll wear that.
We should make some.
Okay.
So she divorced him, by the way. It took 5.5 years, but when she filed for divorce, people close to her said that Katie was afraid that Tom Cruise would abduct their daughter and was apprehensive about intimidation from the church. So when she filed for divorce, it was apparently very strategic because he was in Iceland at the time shooting. So she sort of filed for divorce, filed for custody, and less than a month later, attorneys announced that they had signed a divorce settlement. So there was not a lot of deliberation. Once she knew she wanted out, everyone sort of swooped in and made it happen very quickly, which is unheard of, obviously, that you would come up with a divorce settlement in a month with the biggest movie star in the world, who's also the co-chair of the most divisive, quote unquote, religion. In California, anyway, shouldn't say on the planet.
Well, and also too, it's like, I wonder if they're like, oh no, we need to do this immediate. I wonder if they had a prenup that was like the most ironclad prenup in the whole fucking world. And it's like, here's exactly what you get. Boom, done.
I think they absolutely did. I think it was very clear what was going to happen. Also very clear, how long this was going to play out. I don't think that in the beginning, being married to Tom Cruise seemed like a bad idea.
No.
Like, he is so beautiful in the face because...
Well, it's a fairy tale too, because part of the press was her saying that she had a crush on him when she was
a
kid and had posters of him on her wall. It became part of their lore. And we didn't at the time think anything was creepy about it because we've all had crushes on celebrities when we're a kid. And you're like, can you imagine growing up and marrying, in my case, Joey Lawrence? Can you imagine that happening? It's adorable. Although Joey and I are sort of the same age, but we didn't think their age difference it didn't weird anyone out. It wasn't until he jumped on that couch when we were all like, is this a good idea? Because
he doesn't seem well. He
more
doesn't
creepy than romantic. No.
Romantic. But I'm sure even through the early, like, he's probably a nice guy. And like, regardless if it ended up being a love match or whatever, I'm sure it was probably a fun time in the beginning.
Sure. Until it wasn't.
Right?
Well, and also until he's like, I'm shooting like 52 weeks out of the year. Like, bye, you know.
Well, I also don't know how often they even saw each other.
Yeah.
Right? And how was Surrey actually made? I mean, because
I think it was fun for 3 months. I think it was fun for 3 months. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And he chained her to a chair. Figuratively. I think once he realized that she was pregnant, that conversation, I bet she came home and she's like, I'm pregnant. And he made a phone call and all the blinds automatically shut in their house. And one beam of light shot on her like an interrogation room. And Tom was like, meet Xenu. This is the next 100 years of your life. And they went over everything.
And like, you are carrying the next Christ. You know what I mean?
You
like
are carrying, you're carrying Xenu Jr. I mean, there's no, like, that's Tom Cruise's baby had to be the golden child of Scientology.
Surrey was 100% the golden child of Scientology.
Meanwhile, he already has like so many other kids in Scientology with Nicole Kidman's kids that she doesn't speak to anymore. And when she gets awards, she doesn't she said, thank you to my kids, blank and blank, not here's my other kids, because they don't speak to her.
They don't speak to her. No.
They barely speak to him. Every time Tom interacts with Connor and Isabella, it ends up on a blog somewhere because it happens so infrequently that it always makes news. Like Connor's a DJ, I think, and last year Tom went to one of his gigs for like a minute, and it was all on TMZ. But I think he rarely sees them.
Yeah, I love that you said their names because I could not remember them.
No.
They are not at the tip of your tongue. Like
only because they're Nicole Kidman's children. I wouldn't remember them if they were just Tom, just out of respect for their mother. Mm-hmm. But we all know Tom is he pays much more attention to those fucking coconut Christmas cakes than he does to his own children. All of them. So let's be very clear about that.
Totally. I mean, how much involvement does he have with Surrey these days? Do we ever see?
None. She dropped his name. Didn't she change her name to like Holmes, Surrey Holmes?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I need to know that for sure, but that sounds right.
I feel like, Dominic, we reported on this. That's one of our favorite. When the kids dropped the parents' name.
Oh yeah, because she in her graduation,
she like walked as Surrey Holmes or something like that.
It said like Surrey Noel. Oh, her name is also Noel, her middle name, and I think it said Surrey Noel in the graduation program when she graduated from high school.
Well, because Katie's back to being Catholic now.
Thank God.
And was almost immediately. Like she started going to church right after she ended Scientology.
Well, yeah, she needed Jesus. She was like, get me out of here.
She's like, I don't know how I'm going to get off Xenu. It's going to have to be Christ-like evacuation.
You're like, Jesus yourself, shine your light down on me.
She, by the way, looks so much like Kate Holmes. Like Surrey is such like a dead ringer for her. She could have, it wouldn't matter who her father is. Kate Holmes is her mother and father.
100. I think Kate Holmes is her mother and father. 100%. Yeah.
Does Katie Holmes have any friends? This is my question. Probably not, right?
I mean, it just doesn't, I don't know. It does not seem that way. And again, right now we're working with incomplete information, but she just does not seem to have a posse. She's always alone. She dates.
Are people terrified of her? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the stank of him is on her in such a bad way. And like, there's so many like tell-all interviews we like are begging to have. Like, we're not begging to have her tell-all interview.
Oh, see, I disagree. I want her tell-all.
I want it.
That is how I think that she can be fixed.
I know.
Actually.
I won't.
To be honest, because I'm sure she signed a ton of stuff, but we live in a world now where everyone tells all regardless.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, it's not even a thing anyone's talking about, but it's like, if she would come forward, it could like take everything down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it could take everything down, because I think a lot of the stank of the Tom situation isn't the Tom, it's the ickiness of all of it, of just like, of the Scientology of all of it. Like, what was she coerced to do? Like, did she give up her autonomy? Like, that's the grossness of it. Tom himself, we still love. Okay. I'll watch Top Gun 1 and 2.
oh, please. Dominick's lining up to watch Mission Impossible 75.
I love Mission Impossible. He could have murdered someone in front of me. I'm still watching it.
It's not Tom that brings the stank. It's the situation. So if we could understand what actually happened, I feel like Katie would be freed.
I don't think she wants to be. I don't think the ick is on her. Like, I think people do want to deal with her. I think she is fully in charge of how much access the entire world has to her. And I think it has to do with her daughter. Like, there isn't a white hotter position than being Tom Cruise's wife when he is like at his Tom Cruisiest, which at the beginning of this century, when he's jumping on that couch, he is literally, clearly in that moment, the biggest star in the world. And literally, as we've recounted, dragging her into
like by
the
her
spotlight.
hair.
And I think like that combined with the Scientology, I think it was probably of 5 years that she was with him. I think she spent 4 years plotting how to escape, and it seemed very calculated. He was out of the country and she filed for divorce, took her kid, and then ran. So I think when she's ready to do it, if she ever would be, then great. But she, I think famously at this point, is like trying to just keep her daughter out of the spotlight. And I think that's more important to her maybe than even finding Shelley. Because remember when we found out, like, it was like, oh, Katie Holmes broke up with Jamie Foxx. They've been dating for like 6 years. We're like,
oh yeah,
what? When the fuck did that happen? That didn't happen because Katie Holmes didn't want you to know about it. You know, I'd have to think that. I don't know.
I think she's been really intent on protecting Surrey this entire time. And also, good on her. Okay, maybe she does not want fixing because she's like, I'm a mom. Okay, I'm a mom and I want to stay out of the spotlight. And I don't want to be that famous chick anymore. I'm done with being a famous bitch.
I'm forgetting that, like, remember they had their name Tomcat? Joe,
God,
you probably made that up. It was probably you that made up the name.
I think that was partially my fault. Okay.
Yeah. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Joe, you might be the criminal here, actually, because now that I'm like thinking about Tomcat and all that, I'm like, they were reported on like truly every single day in the tabloid media.
Look, we were just giving the people what they wanted and needed. Okay.
No, that's, you know what I mean? Like,
you sound like a reality producer now.
But like, she walked down the street every day and like was getting harassed by the paparazzi, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and Surrey was too. And I think that was probably really hard for her to watch her daughter being thrust into this spotlight as the most famous child that has ever been since Jesus. Again, you know, her rescuer from Scientology. And that probably made her more of a mama bear than anything else.
Yeah,
which was motherfuck. Like, I do not want paparazzi swarming my baby every time I leave the house.
And she kind of has done a good job of like batting them away, right?
She has. She was instrumental in making, you know, the new rules that the magazines did not print pictures of celebrity children without their consent.
Yeah, she's been no joke about it. I do think that part of whatever the clause was is there's not going to be a tell-all interview or a tell-all book from her. I'm betting at least that was in the prenup. It had to be.
Whatever contracts they had, that there cannot be a tell-all book or interview.
But I'm wondering if she even would anyway, only because she's so desperate to just keep Surrey as like a normal kid. I remember when they moved, I think I could be wrong about this, but I think she's got a place in that building in Chelsea that's above the Whole Foods, or it's a block away from the Whole Foods.
It was right around the Whole Foods. Yes.
And I just remember like when she moved there was a whole sort of dust up because they'd gotten a picture or two of Surrey, and then Katie Holmes did something. What was it? A subway dust up? A Broadway dust up?
A Broadway dust up.
Thank you, Gail King. Talk about megawatt stars. We'll be quoting Gail King long after all of our deaths.
Oh, forever.
A Broadway dust up, a Whole Foods dust up with Katie Holmes, where I feel like she made 1 or 2 phone calls and then that problem went away. Like people stopped stalking her. I think I don't know if she called de Blasio at the time
Probably.
or whoever the fuck. And she was just like, stop it now. Stop it now. And they
knew themselves, like she called.
I will write that book if you do not keep the paparazzi away from my kid. Christopher?
I think we're here.
I have 1 full foot on the red carpet.
I do as well.
Are we approaching the arena?
We are.
We need a theme song. I'm going to have to find one when we get to the Fixe arena.
Okay.
Or I'll sing it every week.
You should sing it.
Here we are, Joe, listeners. Christopher and I are about to give you our fixes to fix Katie Holmes. What does fix mean to you? Well, I don't know. That's really your question to ask yourself. We'll tell you what it means to us and what we think she should do.
Katie, Catherine, Evelyn, Holmes. Noelle.
Kate Noel.
Bouche de Noel.
K&H. I have a connection there before going to Seoul. Go ahead.
Yeah, K&H. I'm on KLM to KNH. It's so stupid. My immediate first one, like before we even started recording, was like, she's going to team up with Leah Remini now that Mike Rinder has died. RIP, bless up. Could we talk to Mike Rinder on fixing dead people, Dominic?
I mean, we can. What do we need? Do you think
he
knows where Shelley is?
I don't know, but maybe he could tell us where Shelley is now that he's in the beyond.
He definitely has a clue as to where Shelley is.
Okay, now that Mike Rinder is dead, bless up, I wanted Leah Remini to come back and do another season of her A&E show, and then it's like Leah Remini is back, and then out of the shadows comes Katie Holmes, and they're like going to do it together. I don't think she would actually do that, and so that is not my pitch. But just know that went through my head.
Not your pitch, okay?
Because she's not going to do it. Like, we know she's not going to do it. We've just talked for 45 minutes about how she wouldn't do that.
But I don't think she's going to do any of it. I don't think she's going to, because I think this one is so hard. This is a hard episode, guys, because I don't think she wants to be fixed.
She doesn't.
I don't think you should restrain yourself about that. I mean, didn't I pitch Demi Lovato opening up something that was like a half yogurt store, half UFO museum? She's never going to do that.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Because I also think it's the best. I think it's the best.
You never be moved by it.
Okay. No, you never know.
What I want her to do, and Joe, I'm sorry that this is a personal attack on the guest that's going to be making the decision, but I want her to I don't need her to host it, but she needs to executive produce and be an interviewee in a documentary about the tabloid media and paparazzi.
I love that.
And the inner workings of it and how it works. And I want people that have left, like you, Joe. You could be one of the people also. You could be a co-interviewee.
Well, they're going to produce this shit. Done.
You two could do it together, actually.
Yeah.
Of like how the tabloid media works. Like, and I want her to be like, I was reported on in the tabloid media every single day. And like, tell us about what it is like. What is it like to be stalked by the paparazzi? You know, we could talk about Britney. We could talk about all these celebrities that were just hounded by the paparazzi in the heyday of the early 2000s. And I know I'm watching that. I know all of us are. And I think like a retrospective of like, I mean, Dominic and I do this a lot on our show, is like all these early aughts women and how we treated them so terribly. I need a documentary version of that. That's like even a series somewhere that's like going back.
I'm very here for this. I'll pitch that idea. Be like straight from the heart of it. Here's the reason I think none of these celebrities are ever going to participate in it, though. And I can tell you, because all of their publicists and their teams were coordinating all of this coverage with us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, almost every story that we got at the time was being leaked from people's teams. So like that, they could be like, oh my gosh, I was being stalked. All this was happening. And we'll be like, okay, it was their publicist and manager that told us where she was.
But without their consent or their knowledge.
So it was a machine preying on them.
See, but that's what I want to hear about that.
Not the magazines alone.
But no, I agree. I understand. But I'm saying I want to hear that it was like, you telling me that right now is like incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And completely true. And then, of course, you know, you have the people who wanted to be the celebrities who are literally calling us up and being like, I'm going on a date with so-and-so.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian going on a date with Nick Lachey.
I'm going to let you say that. But yes, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
So yes, this docuseries is very good. I don't know if she'll ever do that either, but I'm here for it. And I will pitch it the next time I'm on a call with my agents.
Boom.
Bam.
And that's my pitch.
All right. I've got a couple.
Let Dominick go first and then
Okay.
you.
All right.
then-
I don't
and
think
then if
I'm
you-
going to win this week anyway, because I'm going to stick with the pitch that I've had since the moment we started this episode. I don't want to back away from it. I will say that your pitch of Leah Remini and Katie Holmes doing something together is like the stuff that's like vision board stuff that
Oh,
dreams
yeah.
are made of.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't even occur to me to have, but that's like so pie in this. That's like Beyonce dropping an album at midnight that no one knew was coming. That's how big that idea is. I have for many years thought that Katie Holmes looked like a young Linda Carter for real, as in Wonder Woman Linda Carter. Like whenever I would see her in the few appearances she'd make or on screen, something about that wide-faced smile of hers, she always reminded me of Linda Carter. And I always said if there was back when Gal Gadot was being cast as Wonder Woman, I very loudly said to anyone who will listen, Katie Holmes should have this part. She looks just like Linda Carter. She's incredibly tall and Amazonian built. And now that we find out this week that Wonder Woman is still on the DC menu to possibly be resurrected and come out in a couple of years, I also don't think she'll do this. It might be a bit of a circus pitch, but let's give this underrated, unknown superstar, which sounds so funny to say, let's give her a blockbuster. Make Katie Holmes Wonder Woman in the new DC universe. You know, a lot of people might think, well, she's a little bit old for that. I don't know. Saw her at the Tonys the other night, but we know that because she's over 40, people will be like, this is a very unlikely. I think it's great. Joan Collins could play Wonder Woman as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not, Cher could play her. But Katie Holmes I think she could do it. Let's give her a blockbuster. All the press that comes along with it that she won't do because of obvious reasons. But give it to her. Let's give her that. Because we got to go back. We got to go back to Dawson's Creek when we're talking about her professionally. It's like, she didn't even jump on the couch. Her ex-husband did. And that's the thing she's best known for. So let's give her a role. Let's get her acting again in something huge.
Yeah.
And that's my pitch. Katie Holmes is Wonder Woman. The end.
I like that pitch a lot. I support that pitch. I have some piggybacking to do off that pitch. I think that America would really come back to embracing Katie if we saw her on an intensely buzzy, high-end television show. Like I would like her to maybe be
like Big Little Lies-esque show. Yeah.
Totally. Well, if we do Everyone Is Lying to You as a series, we're working on developing it right now. It's kind of a great title for her to headline because it's got this cheeky little like wink and a nod. But I think we could start slow with her and maybe cast her on next season of White Lotus.
Yeah.
They could be very much her Walter Goggins moment.
I would love to see her on but
that White Lotus idea is
White Lotus is great.
It's sending me a little bit because it's such like you almost feel like you could put and you say that about anybody, but you can't. It's got to be a specific person who from a bunch of things, but not the thing that you know them for is so long ago, and you feel like that's what was great about Jennifer Coolidge. Everyone knew her as Stifler's mom or Best in Show, and then it sort of, and of course Legally Blonde, but then very quiet for a long time. And White Lotus came along and just blew her up. I mean, I don't know, Chris. We'll have to discuss, but I like the White Lotus idea better than our two ideas. Well, let me qualify. I like your Leah Remini idea better than anything that's been said here today, but you didn't submit it. So compared to our two ideas, I do like White Lotus.
So I should have done the Leah Remini idea. It was just so easy and obvious. I was like, this is obviously what we're all going to laugh about. No, that wasn't the most obvious pitch. That was like the lowest hanging fruit of anything.
Maybe because it's so impossible, I didn't even think to do it, but that's not what we're about. Like we can...
Yeah, that's fair. But what if the White Lotus storyline had the wife of, a very famous religion going missing?
Don't ruin this. Don't ruin it, Joe.
And
just put her on White Lotus. Don't ruin it.
Just put her on White Lotus. We don't have to find out where Shelley is.
She cannot at any point find the missing wife of a cult leader somewhere buried under the boardwalk.
Somewhere in Thailand.
Yeah, no.
In Thailand.
God, no. Or her name is Shelly in the fucking show. Like it's
Her
like,
name is Shelly. And
her
the
name is
She can't even be Michelle.
Savage. Yeah.
You can't even call, no one on that season can be called Michelle. They can't look for
Nothing.
seashells. Nothing.
No,
They're
not.
done.
No, it needs to be in, it needs seashells.
No.
White Lotus is the winner, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Dominic, we're
I think
getting
White
horrible
Lotus
at
is
this
the
show because everyone's beating us at our own game now.
Well,
But
I
this
want to
is-
say at this point, guests for this season of the show, season 3, it's pretty much a 3-way tie between me, you, and everyone else who's come here. And it's
Dear
never
God,
been that
that's
way before.
pathetic. Yeah. Joe, this has been a whirlwind, as we said. Where can everyone find you? Where can they find your book? Where can they find Katie Holmes's next vehicle, which is the scripted series of your memoir, your novel?
Thank God it's not a memoir.
I know, really.
So, yeah, they can find Everyone is Lying to You, the juiciest thriller of the summer. Everywhere books are sold. The Trad Wife murder mystery they didn't know they wanted. Literally, it is everywhere. It's actually going to be at Target and Walmart, like all of the freaking places.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know. Really psyched about that. And they can just find me now quietly hanging out outside of Whole Foods trying to hand copies of the book to Katie Holmes.
In Chelsea, perhaps?
Most likely in Chelsea. Quietly stalking until Scientology drags me away.
God. Dominic, where can people find you?
On Instagram at Dominick Pupa, on TikTok at Domentary, or at my website, domentary.com. Christopher, where can the listeners of our podcast find you on the World Wide Web?
They can find me at the Chris DeRosa. They can find the show at Fixing Famous People, and they can find the Patreon at patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople, where now every single version of one of our Patreon episodes is free. You don't even need to be a free member or sign up. They are free to the public to listen to see if you want to be a part of this community, which you do.
But you will. When you listen to them, you will.
I wish you both well. And as always, where's Shelly? Goodbye.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.